What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of So. This is the World Christian Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Michelle. This is your other host, Jasmine. Thank you for joining us. As you guys always know, make sure to hit the link in the description box below to also follow us over on Rumble. Watch it over there as well. Pick your poison, YouTube or Rumble, we don't care. As long as you watch and leave a comment. And also, it's the holidays. If you need coffee, cocoa, gift sets, it's almost Christmas. Head on over to coffeebrandcoffee.com and use our code STITWPOD to get 10% off your order. All the information's on the screen. All right. Once again, it's STITWPOD. You will get 10% off your whole order. And Christmas is a coming. I know y'all don't know what to begin, people. Everybody don't deserve an expensive gift. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your co-workers, maybe they just need the $20 gift basket. All right. That's all they really need. You ain't gotta be out here spending hundreds of dollars on them. They're not family. All right, with that said, we have missed 3 weeks of comments. If you guys were here last week, you saw we did the one story just to get back in the groove of things. Today, we're only going to do comments. So no stories this week. It's just us responding to you guys. And then next week, we'll get back to normal, which is crazy because that's right before Christmas. And we'll be back on break again. So sorry, y'all. But let's bring up the first couple of comments. All right. So our first comment is from the Ohio Legalizes Abortion episode. And it's from Han Wagner 9714. And Han says, I will say that churches are 501c3 nonprofits, which means they are prohibited from making political statements or else they risk losing their tax exempt status. Additionally, this issue is religious, not political. So while it's okay to have a religious conviction about an issue, to impose your religious conviction on non-religious people is wrong. So just a quick recap for all of you. At the very beginning of the episode, we were talking about issue 1, which is allowing abortion here in Ohio, passed. And I was saying how it was weird how a Catholic church had conflicting signage up. And obviously the issue is abortion, which is why he said it's religious. For the first part of the comment, I will say not every church is a 501c3 because my church personally is not, as well as a couple other churches, which is why they had signage feeling however they wanted to feel. So they were allowed to make political statements because they're not a nonprofit. So they could do what they want. Second part of your comment, abortion's not a religious issue. Like if we want to speak on it scientifically, from the day of conception, that baby is a baby. And I think we talked about that in the episode too. Like it's not a clump of cells. It's not a parasite. It's not whatever term like verbiage the left uses to make you guys feel better about murder. Your baby is a baby from the day of conception. That is a whole new person inside of your body. So that has nothing to do with religious at that point. That's just science.
That is completely correct. And there's something to be said about this idea of even if it's a religious conviction for someone, you have no right to impose it. When you think about laws, the point of a law is to regulate behavior. Well, when you impose a law and say it's wrong to steal, so we're going to make it illegal, why is it wrong to steal? Why is it wrong? The question is, what is the set of beliefs, the set of ideas, the moral standard that underlies the reasoning behind any political action, especially a legislative action? Fundamentally, oftentimes religion or lack thereof is what motivates our ideologies. Underneath them, it's religion. It's like a very deep ideology that informs your worldview, how you see the world. This is why we can say things like, it's wrong to grape somebody. Why is it wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you could argue that, it's a religious conviction, So don't impose your religious convictions on women. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm being facetious in this way to illustrate a point, but this idea that like you're not supposed to, allow your religious beliefs to inform, how we govern society is absurd. How about don't don't impose your non-religious beliefs on all of us? I mean, we could go both ways with it, really.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the law thing because a lot of our laws actually come from religion if you go back far enough. Like the modern day basic laws, like when you were talking about, don't steal and all this other stuff. A lot of that comes from religion.
Which makes sense because
So,
it's like I'm alluding to, there's what is when it comes to laws and you depict something as like moral or immoral, right or wrong, what is just, what is fair, what is right, what is good, what is true. How do you decide that? It's just somebody's opinion over somebody else's opinion. You have to have some sort of moral standard. And that is when we are in the realm of the religious.
mm-hmm.
This is where religious views come from. This, like, how do we inform our morality so that therefore we can, you know, shape our world? To
Yeah,
me, it's absolutely absurd to say, like, separate your religious conviction from your political stances. That's insane. That's insane. And it just shows a bit of a lack of depth and reflection on these issues.
yeah, I agree. We can get so much deeper into that too, but we got comments. We got comments to get into. It's because even when it comes down to the Constitution, if you really like read it and look at it, it was written for Christian people. So I always love like nowadays when people be like, Constitution was made for everybody and blah blah blah. And it's like technically,
Right.
technically,
There was
but
an assumption that everyone realized that we had inalienable rights from our creator. There was just an assumption that people all understood that. Of course, we kind of lost our way there, but the idea is still the same.
yeah. Yeah, but the Bible talks about that. So
Yeah.
all right, next comment is from Nikki. I forgot what podcast this was from. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I forgot what podcast this is from. So sorry, Nikki. But she says, please cover Hamas, Michelle, if you have the energy. But girl, I need to hear from you and you know why. Um, so to be fair, you can hear it from me and Jasmine, just because it's our podcast. In a nutshell, without getting super deep into this, because this is like a way deeper issue than everybody is portraying this to be. I feel like everybody's just like, this just happened and they've only been fighting since 1948 and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, shut up. You guys don't know what's like really going on. But in terms of just Hamas, that's a whole terrorist organization, right? The fact that And once again, I think I said this last week or in that abortion podcast, the left does a great job of indoctrinating people with stupidity because now we have people when they're out here doing pro Palestine rallies and stuff, right? They're connecting that with Hamas. And this has turned into a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff has been happening. So remember when we used to get called Nazis because we're just like, we don't want trans story hour and we don't want kids bodies being mutilated and we believe you shouldn't abort your baby. The left was like, you guys are Nazis. You're a bunch of Nazis. And I'm like, I don't think you really understand the definition of that word. But I'm like, maybe you do, because now we have colleges that are like down with like Jewish students being discriminated against, harassed. I'm just gonna say bullied, even though it's assaulted at this point. Jewish delis, bakeries, businesses. It's like everybody, if you're Jew, you're just being rocked automatically because everybody's like, we stand with Palestine from the river to the sea. And then they're yelling a bunch of stuff, but they're connecting it with Hamas. And I'm like, well, Hamas is the terrorist. And then you have people calling IDF terrorists and stuff. And I'm like, you guys have no clue of what's actually happening over there. Like, I feel bad for the average people on both sides that's just caught up in all the nonsense. So
Mm-hmm.
all the people getting like raped, murdered, tortured, kidnapped, that has nothing to do with nothing. I feel bad for all of them. I don't care what side they're on. But when you guys sit there and you protest and all the nonsense and you go harass Jews in America, it's like I can't condone it.
Yeah, definitely. And then like zooming out for from a spiritual level, um the Bible talks about uh Abraham's son Isaac and Ishmael,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And even then we see the word Hamas, and it's referenced as a spirit of Hamas, a spirit of violence, and that is why he sent hey, was her name Hagar?
I think it was,
The mama's name?
yeah, I think it was Hagar and Ishmael, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so that's why he sent him away, or sent Hagar away, because there was a spirit of Hamas, which is very interesting that we're
yeah.
seeing that word again, that as the name of this organization. And what is the characteristic that best defines this organization is violence, extreme violence. And another reflection is that, of course, ever since the beginning, ever since this covenant, and the war between good and evil, God and Satan, we see a persecution of God's people, and specifically of the nation of Israel, or the Jews themselves. We've seen it in Nazi Germany. We're seeing it now, and it always it's a hatred, a deep-seated hatred for these people. And when you rewind the tape all the way back, it comes from that original hatred of God and the
Mm-hmm.
covenant he made with these people. So this is just yet another iteration of this. And yes, it's very complex with the geopolitical pressures. And I'm not saying that the nation of Israel has been perfect, because we can even read in the Bible that the nation of Israel and Judah, they were not innocent people. They strayed away from God. They did bad things, just
Mm-hmm.
like we all do. Um, but this is the way that the world is playing out. And this is why, as Christians, we need to pay attention, because it shows us, okay, things are going to ramp up, as Revelation talks about. Now, there's been a lot of talk, and I think we mentioned this before, that Hamas, this what's going on here, could be antichrist or something like that. I've seen that kind of talk online. Look, I don't know if that's what we're seeing here. No one knows the day or the hour of
Yeah.
Christ's return, but there sure has been a lot of talk about Revelation and all of these things, which is good. It's good to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I look at it is like, you know, this could be it, or we could be around for humanity could be around under God's sovereign will for another like 4,000 years. Doesn't change. Doesn't change the relevance of scripture, doesn't change the truth of scripture, and God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit still reign. So whatever happens with the Hamas thing, all you can do is, of course, pray for the people involved. Pray that more souls find Christ, and pray that we, and I mean we as in you and I, people reflecting on this situation, don't get caught up in the spirit of deception of this age, because that's what we see with the propaganda, with the protests, the Jew hatred on college campuses in the United States, because it could get very dire, and Jesus may not come. We see with the Nazis, he didn't come then, but that's his will. May we not conduct ourselves the way that the Germans did at that time, where they allowed that situation to fester because the church refused to act in that moment.
Yeah. It's crazy because ever since this been happening, I keep thinking about my family because they live out of state. So I don't know what's going on with them on a day-to-day level, but it's like, why do I have to worry about them to this level? Because people, like I said, they don't know terms. They don't know terms. It's like, if you want to start throwing stuff around, y'all acting like Nazis. That's literally what's happening right now.
Right, absolutely. Like, just everyone thinks like, how could Germany have allowed Hitler to rise and these horrible things to happen to people? Well, take a look around. That's how. Because you just get manipulated by your emotions, and you refuse to see reality. And when someone can paint these people as other, it gives you license. And I honestly, I was seeing it even with, American politics. We have the liberals hating on conservatives, and just like this genuine hatred of anybody who supported a certain president.
Yeah.
I could easily see how the population could just turn. And so
Yeah.
now that it's playing out with God's people, the Jews, absolutely. No surprise there.
Yeah. It's messed up. It's
Indeed.
messed up. We could do I don't even think a podcast would cover everything that we could talk about because it's just such a deep issue. And like I said, it's way deeper than people are making it out to be. They're just like, oh no, this in the Gaza Strip, it's happening now and this is evil. It's like, this has been going on for an extremely long time. This isn't new. It may be new to you guys because media wants you to care all of a sudden, but this isn't new in the slightest.
Right.
Yeah. Our next comment is from Jorge. I don't know what podcast this is from either. Let me look it up real quick because now I'm just I don't even know what to reference. So this comment in the last one is from our episode where we right before we went on Thanksgiving break, about baby Indy being murdered by the UK government. Okay. So Jorge says the church isn't white. She is every color because she's universal. The Bible says that abortion is evil, and so does the church. Abortion is intrinsically evil. I've joined the Knights of Columbus chapter of my parish. I was a knight in my old church and have now transferred over since I am a parishioner at Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. I'm glad to be a knight again. Mexican Christmas is better. Tamales are delicious.
That's true. Tamales are delicious.
Tamales are fire. All right, you get a W again. For y'all that don't know, when we be off camera, I be giving her W's and L's for food opinions.
Look, to be fair, Michelle is like super into cooking, and I am super not into cooking. My cooking's all right. It's okay. I do all right, but I'm no I'm no Michelle in the kitchen. I ain't gonna throw down just because I like it. Like, but yes, you're absolutely right. Tamales are fire. Um, and I happen to agree with all the other things that you said about abortion being evil and
Yeah.
the church being every color because it's universal. Like, all of these stupid distinctions are just that. They're very stupid. They're very, honestly, divisive for no reason or for nefarious reasons if you think about it. Why would there be such an emphasis on color other than to divide? Instead of church unity, we have church division.
Mm-hmm.
And where does that come from? Makes you wonder.
Oh, because we were talking about now my brain's working again. Because I these are old comments, y'all. That podcast, we were talking about how people keep saying like they're mad at Christian white males. And I think me and you had we're just like, why do people think all Christians are like white or something? I think that's what we were saying. So I think that's where his comment came from to
I
start it
feel like
off.
that has to be just pure ignorance. I don't even get that.
It is. It is pure ignorance. Because I don't understand that either. I'm just like, all Christians are white, and then you're specifically only mad at the white male Christians? Okay. That's stupid, but okay. Like it's like the church is like every color of the rainbow. So also congratulations on joining your Knights chapter. I know you
Yeah,
said
that's
you
great.
transferred, but still. Congratulations. All right, this is a long one. This next comment is from the AI Sex Bots podcast, our second most hated podcast. This is from Jay Mon- Montoropoulos. I hope I said that right. Jay, if I didn't, I apologize. But quick recap, because we have to do this. These are old podcasts, these getting comments on. We do not agree with AI sex bots. That was the gist of it. Okay, now now we go to the comment. But Jay says it's not that men don't want to be with women. Women just have impossible standards that the majority of men cannot meet. What motivation does a man have to invest time, energy, and money into a woman who may use him, cheat on him, manipulate him, withhold sex, emotionally abuse, and blackmail him? Requires validation and constant attention when he can get a sex robot that is submissive, gives him pleasure, doesn't cheat, doesn't leave, actively listens, won't sue him in divorce court and take half of his assets, doesn't require child support or alimony, and never nags or complains. As AI and sex robot technology continues to advance, and it will, women will have three options: lower their standards and give the average man a chance, learn what it is that men actually want, or just remain single and childless.
All right, your thoughts?
um, the fact that he thinks all women have impossible standards that the majority of men cannot meet. I really think a lot of y'all just really got to get offline. I'm gonna be real with you. Women in the real world, like, and I also need to add to this. What type of woman do you even like to begin with? Because I guarantee you, there's a woman that's like a 3 to a 6 or a 7, is somewhere in that range that probably like y'all. But y'all be online so much, y'all be wanting tens and nines and eights and stuff. And those are usually the group of women that you can't get to begin with. So if you try to holler at them or whatever, they're not gonna waste their time with you. And those type of women, anyways, are just like, I mean, that's when you start hitting like the gold diggers of the world. Once you start hitting those numbers. So it's like a two-way street, my guy. But when you talk about what motivation does a man have to invest time, energy and money to women who like may use him and cheat on him and all this other stuff. And you're talking about losing assets and whatnot. My guy used to work at a warehouse. Okay. Those people weren't making jack squat. And the amount of cheating I saw go on in that place for men and women was wild. I promise you, you ain't got to have money to get cheated on. I also promise you, whatever standards you think you have, there specifically that worked in my area. I know 2 midgets that was bagging chicks that was out of their league. They were sleeping with a lot of women in that place,
I
okay?
was not expecting you to say that.
I swear on everything. I witnessed a midget and a dude that had to been like close to 6 feet or 6 feet fight over a chick because she slept with both of them. So don't sit here and tell me women have impossible standards. Okay, my guy. It comes down to what type of woman do you like? Because I guarantee you, you can get a woman. I promise you, you can.
You you just have she just had to throw the midgets out there.
I'm just saying though, I'm not saying they don't deserve love or whatever, but let's be realistic here. When we hear women talk about I'm not dating a man unless he's 6 feet and has 6 inches of you know what and 6 figures and blah blah blah, that is a lie. I promise you that's a lie. It's a whole lie. I know women that have cheated on good dudes with crappier dudes because it was just different. And none of these people were rich and had money in this equation. They all were broke. They all were average. Like when I saw somebody like I'm like 5'8.5". This dude came up to my waist. When I saw him bagging chicks, okay, don't talk to me about standards. All right. There is none.
Yeah. I actually I get this argument. Like I get
I
it.
mean, I get it too, but
Especially like this I I guess you could call it an ideal of a woman, or like I don't even know if it's an ideal or a reflection. That's probably a better word. A reflection of this like modern woman um that you see like on these man on the street videos all the time. Like who are these like really shallow women? Um and it does seem like God. Like what motivation does a man have to invest time, energy, and money into a woman who might hurt him and put him through the ringer? I'm sure like most everybody watching, us included, probably know a woman who uh screwed over a man,
yeah.
and he really had to redo his life, or it really threw off the course of his life for a while. So I totally get that. And as we discussed on the podcast, just because these things are true doesn't mean that the alternative is better.
Yeah.
Because what is a robot replacing? A robot is replacing a real human connection.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get it. Maybe a robot would be preferable to a really horrible woman. I mean, check out Proverbs. What Proverbs has to say about the adulterous woman or
Mm-hmm.
a bad wife. That
Yeah.
it's like rot in your bones.
Yeah.
Strong words. But then also take a look at what Proverbs says about a good woman, like Proverbs 31 woman. There's no replacing that.
No,
And
it's not.
sure, if you have a worldview that is suggestive that a woman is little else good for sex and then all the other baggage, what's it worth? Let's just get a sex robot. Um, yeah, sure. But if you look at them as they were meant to be, which is like, I mean, think about how God created the woman, taken from the rib, close
Mhm.
to the heart, to protect the heart of the man, to be his helper, to be his assistant. Not taken from, his head to signify that she's above him, not taken from down near his feet to signify that she's below him, but taken from the rib to protect his heart, to help him to be on his like, not necessarily on his level, but like there's a complementary role there. So this goes beyond just the sexual intimacy.
Mhm.
And that's, if all you are seeing is, okay, woman equals sexual intimacy, but plus emotional abuse, blackmail, requires validation, constant attention, nagging. Of course, it makes sense that you would want a sex robot. But if you view them the way that God designed them, or us, I should say, because we're women, um, then maybe you'll see it a different way. And I think women need to take heed, because I mean, if we want to live fulfilling lives, but also not let the species die out, like we really got to step up our game, ladies. Like, what's going on? Now, we're not talking about us, because, you know, I don't see us as the type of people to cheat on our husbands, manipulate them, and all these other horrible things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in general, ladies, like for real, like read Proverbs 31 and try to aim towards that a little bit better, because honestly the men are kind of over it, and I get it.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, if your whole view of a woman really is just sex and negativity, just go get a sex doll right now. You don't need to wait for a sex robot if that's just how you view everything, which is sad. That isn't
Yeah.
how you should view everything. Um, but that's why I also said you need to get offline, because you're going to get that in a lot of red pill content. Incels are going to think the same way. Black pill is just bleak, which is this is kind of bleak. So you probably
Yeah.
going to put that in there as well. But honestly, if both of you are equally yoked and both of you are striving to get closer to God together, the statistics of divorce for a religious couple, ones that pray together daily on top of that, is 1%. So when you guys keep looking at these statistics where it's like, oh, it's like 40% or 50% is the divorce rate and blah, 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 but you're also not factoring in, and this is what's annoying about that statistic, you're also not factoring in the people who get divorced and remarried and divorced again. Because usually those who keep getting remarried and remarried, the divorce rates for them just keep getting higher and higher, usually speaking. I know sometimes, you'll have a couple, they'll get divorced, find somebody new, and they're cool with that person till death. But usually, statistics state that divorce for them again is like even higher. But all of that is lumped into that one divorce statistic that keeps going around the internet. So
Mhm.
everybody's just thinking like, oh, it's like 40 to 50% for everything, not realizing it includes a lot of that, double, triple, quadruple marriages and stuff. So
Mhm.
you have to look at it as a whole. But that's why, as a whole, for religious marriages, and we're talking about like the three main Abrahamic religions, it goes down a lot. And then in that group even includes like Christians in name only, and it still goes down a lot. Right? That's why when you get all the way down to the nitty-gritty, we're like, we're married, we pray together every day, we actually like live how you're supposed to live by God's word. 1%. So maybe think about changing all y'all lives around, men and women. Because I done seen men do women dirty too. Like on top of this, that's, you know, get y'all lives together and start getting closer to God. Stop having these dumb relationship conversations online all the time. Do you think this is proper for a first date? I wouldn't go here for a first date. A man has to make this much for me to talk to him. I would never talk to a man that drives this car. It's also stupid, and not every woman thinks like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, a lot of you guys got to stop watching porn, because that is also messing with your minds too, which leads to you thinking all of this. Which is why I said in the very beginning, what type of girl do you even like? Because there's probably an average girl out there that likes you, that you are just overlooking or have overlooked in the past, because you're looking for some like 8, 9, 10 porn star type chick that's just super unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
So a
That's so
lot
true.
goes into that. All right, moving on to the next set of comments. This is actually from last week's episode, where we talked about Daddy Yankee giving his life over to Christ. So Kayla said, "Never thought I would see the day." Man, me either. Me either. When you look at a lot of musicians and actors and actresses, especially with how they act or music they make and stuff, you would never think.
Yeah, and honestly, there's something to be said about how difficult it is for somebody who's living that type of lifestyle, who has the money, who has everything that you could want. Um, yeah, fame, I mean, top of the game, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, already had all the accolades, already for that type of person to find God, to realize that they're at their end of the road and it's like, this is all there is.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
It is, because most artists, they'll die in that sin.
Hmm.
They'll never fully allow God into their life. They might thank them at the award ceremonies and stuff, but they don't really like live that life, you know.
Yeah.
All right, next comment is from Just a Girl. She said, "I had a really good Thanksgiving, and I'm thrilled by this trend of celebrities finding God, and I pray that it continues." Yes. Yes,
Amen.
we need more celebrities giving it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's better than having a bad one.
Yeah, it really is, you know. All right, and I think this is the last comment of 3 weeks. It's from Tyree. She says, "Welcome back, ladies. Glad you ladies had a great Thanksgiving." Thank you, Tyree. "And God bless your family through these holidays." See, I should have read the whole comment first and then said thank you, Tyree.
Thank you. That's very sweet, and we appreciate you coming back to watch. You
Mm-hmm.
always are full of great insight and encouragement. So thank you, Tyree. You're awesome.
Yes, thank you, Tyree. Also, Tyree, if you're watching this, I got you a Christmas present, and I just watch your mail. All right. Just watch your mail. Because I had to recently, because I don't know what was up with Amazon. They took it to one of my neighbors' houses, and I'm like, who house is this in the picture? This ain't my house.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
thanks.
But I'll tell you what, okay. If y'all saw Jasmynne's video where she was on the cruise and she was like, I got into it with somebody on the cruise, and I got to be better, right? That's how I felt with the whole Amazon thing. Cause like I was taking a nap, I woke up and I was just like, huh, I wonder how many stops away the Amazon person is. Cause last time I checked, they were like 5 stops away. And that usually means like an hour for my neighborhood. I don't know why, but that's what it usually means. So this like a whole hour that went by. I woke up, I pull up my app and it said delivered. And I was like, that's weird. I got security. Security didn't ping. That's awkward. Then I got the email that came in. I go in there and I see the picture. It ain't my house. So I was like, nah, I don't know where they took this to. So I went into the app and it was, it says, is everything good or not? So I said, no, delivered to wrong address, yada, yada, yada. So, everything's automatic. So it's just like, well, you can't get a refund till tomorrow. And I was like, nah, I need to talk to somebody. Went on to chat, and I told them, because I don't want them to think I'm a scammer. It's that time of year where people just scam and crap. So I was like, hey man, this says this. I don't have it. Can you just tell the delivery driver to turn around and get my package? Because I don't know where they dropped it, but they should know based on, their scanner or whatever. And they were like, oh, I gotta put you through that department. I get to that department. The lady's like, I can't tell them to turn around because they're like, yeah, they deliver for Amazon, but it's like a third party company. And I was like, crap. Okay. So we're running through all my options, and she was really nice on the phone. And she was like, well, I could replace one thing and I could refund the other thing. But other than that, I can't do much. And she was like, if somehow the packages turn up and you get lucky, just keep them. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was bummed out. But then I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, how stupid you got to be to go to the wrong house. I'm like, I'm calling the driver stupid in my head and everything. Like, I'm just dogging them out in my mind. And I'm like, they're such idiots. This is why they don't ever hire good people to do these jobs. Just for like under 2 hours later, one of my neighbors drops it off at my house. And I was just like, wow, I was not expecting that. And I got so happy. I'm thanking them. I'm thanking God. And then while I'm thanking God, I was like, ooh, God, I called that driver stupid. And I probably should not have done that. I was
My
like,
bad.
yeah, I was like, I probably, because in my mind, I was just like, that stupid driver. And then people are like evil this time of year. They're going to keep my stuff. And it ain't even for me, it's for other people. Like, I'm dogging everybody else.
And you are human,
Yeah,
so those feelings are normal. And hey, you didn't curse anyone out, so that's a plus.
I
Did you?
know.
Oh,
No, I was
oh, the
just,
way you said that, I was like, oh, my bad. I just called you
well,
out online.
well, no, because like I was nice to the lady on the phone, but like, I don't know. Afterwards, I was just frustrated because I was like,
Yeah,
stupid driver. And I was like, people are scammers. They're going to keep the stuff and it's not even for them. And it's not even for me. Like, this is so stupid.
yeah.
I was just kind of like how you said you were frustrated. Yours was more when we talked, but you do think about that and you're just like, dang, I probably shouldn't have these thoughts.
I almost dropped my phone off my desk, so you're gonna see a little freak out there for a second. I was like, my bad. No, yeah. Especially, yeah, when it comes to packages, because you're just like at the mercy of whatever is going on. It really, yeah, I feel you for sure. And I'm pretty sure that whatever I got you was supposed to be delivered that same day. So I don't know if that was one of the packages, but I
No.
don't know. You
Oh,
might have just lost it. I don't know.
something. Did you? Okay. Did you send it through the post office?
Couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But
Something's
we'll
supposed to.
figure.
Well, something's supposed to come in from the post office. They said it was going to come today, but then it changed, and they said it's going to come tomorrow. And I was just like, what did I order? But
I don't
okay,
know. We could just, you know
all
what?
right.
I'll just
See,
send you a picture of what I got you. And then you could be like, oh, that was cool. Thanks.
that's not a bad. See, now I need to take a picture of what I'm about to send y'all, just in case like some crap happens, and I could be like, it was supposed to be this.
My bad. It's all good.
Yeah. But no, that made me think. I was like, I need to start having better thoughts and having better faith in people as a whole. Because, like, I know how I am as a person, and we're all supposed to be like God's children, even though all of us don't claim God. There's a lot of us that do. So I need to start having better thoughts and intentions about other people and their kindness and what they do. Because my neighbor didn't have to do that. Because I wasn't expecting it at all. I'm just like, I'm never seeing that stuff ever again.
Yeah, that's true. That was really cool of him or
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. And then it's funny because the Amazon driver did the same thing today. They parked right in front of my neighbor's yard, and my neighbor must have told them because I saw them on the security cameras. They were cutting across all the lawns. It came to mine and dropped in front of my door, and I'm just like, come on now. My number is like right here. The lights are on. Like, how are you down there?
Well, I'm glad that worked out then.
Yeah. So, but with that said, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna call it a night because it is late, and I gotta get up early tomorrow. She gets up early every day. I don't know why, but
I'm weird.
but with that said, make sure you head over to her channel. It's called Bold Reflections. Check out all the videos she's dropped. When you're done over there, head over to my channel. It's called It's Your Girl Saying. Live streams, videos. Check it all out. And pardon me. And we will see you guys next week for the last episode before Christmas break, which I can't wait. I'm happy. It's holidays. All right, guys. Bye. See you.
Bye.